Hi guys, this is just a quick overview. Some of you were at the workshop last night, so that's fine. Hopefully you've got your head around what we've actually got to do, but we're going to just make sure that's the case now. And some of you didn't get to the last workshop for whatever reason. This is just to help you to make a bit of sense of where we're going and what you can do before we get to the next workshop next Tuesday. You'll see an email that's gone out. You should have a copy of the unit outline, so if you haven't got that, you've got it. And there's also a copy of a business plan called R Dental, and I want you to read through that, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So I've just sent out, I've set up another a video on YouTube, which you can see. It's called Presentation Advice BAA101, which just runs through the process of of what you should be trying to do for that first workshop presentation. Essentially, you've got this concept called Tasmanian time. The notion is that in Tasmania, things are a bit slower, a bit easier. Everyone just sort of chills out and sort of, nothing's too much of a hassle, So how can we actually commercialise this? How can we actually take advantage of the fact that we've got something in here that may be of value to other people? So your challenge is to try and identify, how are you going to market Tasmanian time? What actually is it that you're going to market and to whom? What would be the compelling reason why somebody would actually want to actually buy your product or service related to Tasmanian time? Is there any particular IP that you could actually register or protect? And is there any blocking strategies that you could use? And once you've got through that process, what have we actually got by way of IP strategy? Is it a running strategy? Is it a blocking strategy? What is it that you're going to attempt to do? And what sort of business structure do you think that you might use to attempt to do this? The other thing that you need to do, and this is you can be doing this revision as within your group and making sense of it, but I'm looking for you to contribute as an individual in the workshop, is we will discuss the R Dental business plan. So here's somebody with an idea that's wanting to take it to market, and what we're trying to do is retrospectively look back at it and say, well, we're trying to develop this very simple framework that says, what are they selling to whom? Is there a compelling reason that exists for someone to actually buy this thing? Are there IP issues and or blocking strategies which could be a part of the way we think about this? And what type of IP strategy and or structure is going to be required to move this thing going forward? Okay, at this stage you might be thinking, gee, we haven't even covered any of that stuff. I just want you to play with it. All right, it'll all start to fall into place as we're moving forward. But what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to read through the business plan. Okay, you may not have read through business plans before. They're very much a sort of speculative forecast of what could happen in the future if certain things were to sort of fall into place. Okay, this plan doesn't have the financials in it. I've left that out. Let's just not get bogged down on the actual financials. Just think about the concept, who it is that they say they're trying to sort of communicate with, and how they think that they're going to go about executing this idea. Just stay focused on that. But what I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself those 4 questions. The same 4 questions which relate to your Tasmanian time presentation, in you working this way and actually saying, well, if we were going to start from the ground up, how would we answer these 4 questions? Now I want you to come back with the same 4 questions to the plan. Okay, I want you to ask yourself as you're reading through this plan, who is it that they're actually, what actually is it that these guys think that they're selling? Who is it that they think they're selling it to? Is there a compelling reason why someone would actually want to buy something from these guys? Are there IP issues in here that they have accounted for? Do you think that there are IP issues in here that they haven't accounted for? Are there blocking strategies that they seem to be using, or can you see blocking strategies that they should be using? Is there a particular IP strategy that you sense that's actually accounted for in this plan? And do you think that the structure that they've actually got seems to be appropriate for what it is they're attempting to achieve? So don't stress out if you think, I just don't get this stuff at the moment. That's fine. Just have a crack at it, and let's see where we get to in the workshop when we actually sit down and discuss it. So that's the main 2 things. Make sure you've got your presentation if your group's already formed. If you haven't got into a group yet, don't panic. Just come along and see how that one plays out. But everybody can be making sure that they've read through our dental and that they're ready to engage in a practice discussion in the next workshop next Tuesday. So look, any other questions, concerns, queries, um, just send me an email and ask. But by all means, you've got the Facebook, Twitter, MySpace. It's UTAS Enterprise, one word. You can follow and keep up to date on those things. I'll be posting out updates via the email as well. So stay tuned to your email for the UTAS email account, and let's just see where we go. We will have a lot of fun this semester. We like to play with things. We like to let you feel very safe and comfortable in playing with the ideas, and then hopefully at the end of the semester we turn around and say, hey, guess what? We've actually picked up something here, and we've learned it, and we feel pretty comfortable with it. Okay, so the responsibility is on you now to come along to the workshops prepared. You're going to have a pitch, and you say, okay, this is what we're going to pitch, and let's see where that one goes. And I read through the business plan here, and I've got a pretty good feel for how those ideas seem to be playing out in that plan, and let's get ready to contribute to the discussion. All the best for the rest of the week. I hope the first week's been a good one for you, and look forward to seeing you all next Tuesday. I felt there was a really good vibe in the room last night. I sort of feel like you guys collectively have got something really good to contribute. So let's see if we can keep that moving forward. The more fun we have, the more contribution you guys are going to make, and that's where we need to be, because it's not my job to make the contribution. It's my job to help you guys contribute to each other's understanding of these things. Looking forward to seeing you all next week. We'll have Dr. Polly McGee with us when we actually meet up again. So that'll be great. She'll add another dimension to the room, which will be something different. And I'm really looking forward to sort of seeing how that one plays out as well. So see you shortly.